Hi everyone, Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome! This channel is for Japanese learners of English. Kiyomo shadowing no lesson wo yadakimashou. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Practice daily to master tango, bunpao, hatsuan, and rhythm. Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Zehi. Channel no toroku wo onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Ever been in a meeting where opinions clash like cymbals in a marching band? It's chaos, right? And sometimes you just need the right words to navigate that verbal battlefield. So how do you do that effectively?
Absolutely. It's all about knowing the right phrases and, even more, how to use them in a way that helps people find common ground instead of pushing them further apart.
Okay, so let's say we're in a meeting and things get a bit heated. Somebody throws out an idea you completely disagree with. What's your go-to move?
Well, instead of just saying, I disagree, which can feel pretty confrontational, you could start with something like, I see your point, but I'm not sure if that would work, because it's like acknowledging their idea while still expressing your doubt.
That's a good one. It's like you're not shutting them down, you're building on their point, making a segue, right?
Right. And then there's the classic, I understand where you're coming from, however. It's another way to show empathy before you offer your different perspective.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not just throwing up a wall, you're building a bridge, kinda. So how do you actually voice your own opinion without making it seem like it's a only option?
That's the trick, isn't it? Phrases like, in my opinion, or from my perspective, they're super useful. They kind of signal that you're sharing a viewpoint, not laying down a law, right?
Yeah, it's like saying, here's where I stand, without saying, and everyone else is wrong, which is super important in a tense situation. But what about when you actually agree, but you want to show it in a way that contributes to the conversation?
Totally. Instead of just saying, I agree, you could say, I completely agree with you, and I think that. This way, you're showing support and adding to their idea. It shows you are engaged, building, and not just following.
Like, you're not just a yes man, you're an active participant.
Exactly. And sometimes the key is to ask clarifying questions, especially if you're not sure about something. Could you explain that in a little more detail, or am I understanding correctly that you're proposing? These phrases can really help keep things on track.
Absolutely, and it is like you're not trying to start a fight, you're trying to find the best path.
Exactly. It's all about making sure you're understanding each other. And of course, when things are really tangled up, a phrase like, let's look at this from a different angle, can be a game changer, right?
Oh yeah, that is like the verbal equivalent of untangling a knot, right? And it's so important that you could disagree and propose different paths, but keep the conversation flowing and constructive.
And in a way that's respectful. For example, when you are trying to steer a conversation that is going off topic, you could use a phrase like, wow, that's an interesting point. Can we perhaps get back to the main agenda?
That's a nice way to get back on track. And it's all about balance, right? You're neither agreeing all the time nor disagreeing all the time. It's about finding that sweet spot where your voice is heard and everyone feels like they are a part of the solution.
Right. And what it comes down to is remembering that it is a discussion. You can use all of these phrases. But it's also about really listening to what other people are saying, considering where they're coming from, and then expressing your thoughts clearly and constructively.
Right. It's not a boxing match. It's a dance, right? Knowing the steps lets you move in sync, even if your steps aren't exactly the same, right?
Exactly. It is about finding the right rhythm. And if we all approach our meetings like this, we would see a lot more progress and a lot less clashes.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? 理解できない部分はありませんでしたか? Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Please let me know your kansa or request in the comments. ぜひチャンネルの登録をお願いします. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next time. Bye bye.